Hey, it's Mike, and I'm going to talk about the Hare Krishna Cult, these cults, and oh man, it's tough. This Krishna Cult is, every day it's something. So let's just get right into it. I don't even know, it's so fucking disgusting. Oh, what happened? Oh, here I go. Okay. I don't know what's going on. I'm having some technical issues. Let's see if this is going to work. Let's see. Hello?
Hello.
Whew. Man, every time I see that, it's just like, wow. All that shit, all that shit happened. Just child abuse, a $400 million settlement, and appeals, and lawsuits, and more molestations, murders, gurus being murdered, and then little girls being married off and taken to India, more kids being molested. It just goes on and on. And it's not in the past. It's in the present. It's happening now. Right now. Just what's going on right now in India is there's a temple in India where the leaders of the temple were molesting some kids, and it turned into this like little civil war because there were the people that were trying to protect the kids were fighting against the molesters and all of their protectors in the temple. That's what's just happening. That's still going on in India, and that's not the only. That's not the only one. There's stuff going on all over. So I'm gonna share with you some thing. Well, first of all, let me just say that these allegations and revelations, whatever you want to call it, whistleblowing, is done by some Hare Krishnas, and they're not leaving their name as to who they are. So they are anonymously writing this letter, and they don't want their names out there as to who they are. They are making some allegations against some people that I can't say their names because that would be irresponsible of me, because there's no way of me verifying any of this. But I'm going to just tell you I'll read what's going on, but I'm going to leave their names out. But let's see. So it says so this is going on now in Italy. And so I'm just going to read what this says. I'm going to leave out the names because, one, it's unethical and immoral for me to repeat allegations against someone, and I don't know if these are true. I assume that they're true, but I don't know if they're true. So legally, I don't want to get my channel striked against something or I don't know, lawsuit or whatever. But anyway, I wouldn't want to do that anyway. It's just not. I can't verify this. So anyway, it says here, the guru business. After our previous article on the atrocious physical and psychological abuse perpetrated by this person, alias Dionidi, against the then child, and then the child's name, how did the mafioso and then another person's name, alias Maru, respond? He, who is the GBC, which is the head governing body commission guy, head of the Italian ISKCON, thought well of ordering all his people to publicize in unison on the web the certificates of esteem expressed towards him by some foreign ISKCON GBC members, as if these others could somehow act as guarantors for him, saving him both from the embarrassment of the violence he has just recounted, but also his personal abyss, which will probably lead him to prison with consequent forced resignation. But does he really believe that the Italians are so stupid and naive as to take the bait for this clear and ridiculous political move? Let's see, where was I here? But then what has politics got to do with the Krishna devotee movement? Unfortunately, when so much money is at stake, the dance of politics with its dirty power games takes over. Let's see. This politics has practices that conform to certain principles or directives in the exercise of an activity or decision-making power, which in this case becomes a full-fledged mafia association. This is governed by the law of omerta and secrecy, which also exerts control over illicit economic activities, as in the case of Madhu and his accountant Radha. Often these activities are carried out by cruel and unscrupulous people who are also perverted to the detriment of children. To date, more than 2,000 children have been sexually and physically abused by Hare Krishna devotees. But then we ask ourselves, does this Madhu, leader of the Hare Krishna in Italy, really believe that he can fool the Italians? They who have gained so much experience precisely with corrupt politicians or in dealing with mafiosos. Why is it that after the article on the serious violence of this person, known as the Loan Shark, no one apologized to this person, or at least no one mentioned it? On the contrary, Madhu made people believe that the situation was under control, and I'm having some technical difficulties here. Hold on one moment here. Let me play this video here and let me see if I can fix this problem that I'm having. Let me see.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
What are you doing?
Rama, Hare Hare.
Okay.
Dear devotees,
Go, in the other room. You're totally distracting me, and I can't concentrate.
In September of 1977, and I got my spiritual name May 22nd of 1986. That's the day that Sulosha Prabhu was murdered. Krishna has used me somehow to do the service. I was the right-hand man to Prabhupada 1990-91 when we started the Srila Prabhupada Festival. In 1996, I did the Srila Prabhupada family reunion thinking that Prabhupada founded ISKCON for ISKCON, communication, unity, cooperation, trust, and love. I haven't done any of this. Krishna uses us to do these things, So I cannot get it credit. I'm not trying to talk down to you or to seem like I want to be a big leader. I'm happy with my life as it is, with a good wife, with two good friends, and that's it. You're going to see soon an interview I did of Rishikesh Das Prabhu about his 660-page book called Killing for Krishna. And I wanted to say that we have to find a solution. The solution is Prabhupada paradigm only, POP. To follow the order of Prabhupada, the suggestion of Prabhupada, that we have to follow the example of Jayananda Das Prabhu. Jayananda Prabhu is the only confirmed by Srila Prabhupada Siddha disciple. We have to start following the example of Jayananda. We can establish 108 centers worldwide based on Jayananda Prabhu, Srila Prabhupada's POP, and original books. We have to know the history of abuse against Prabhupada and his followers. And then we have to know who is who. And this book, Killing for Krishna, describes very nicely who is who, at least in part of the book. It's an isolated case, but it's important. Now to the interview. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
So let me just comment real quick right here. This murder that happened, that he's going to interview this devotee that was there and who wrote the book about it. The last thing he says is, well, it was an isolated case. This is not an isolated case, and I know that devotee. I know that devotee that was just talking, and he knows better. I mean, that's what I mean. These people are really, they're really scummy, because they just don't, they're just not honest. They're not honest with themselves. They're not honest with anyone they meet. They're not honest with what they say. He wants to interview this devotee who wrote this book about a murder, but he can't even be honest about the whole thing. And I just want to comment how they always say how, well, Krishna's using me to do this, or Krishna's using me to do that, or somehow or other Krishna has caused this to, and every time I hear that, I can't help but think about all these children. 450 children, 2,000 children. Will we ever really know the number? There were like over 400 children in the lawsuit. But there were a lot of children. My daughter wasn't part of the lawsuit. There were a lot of children that were molested after the lawsuit. How many people have suffered because of the a lot. So many children that have suffered. Little girls raped and married. Little boys raped. Little boys. Where was Krishna when all that was happening? Where was Krishna when the guy got shot in the van? Why didn't Krishna show up there? Oh, Krishna helps this guy. Krishna's going to help him interview this guy who wrote a book about the guy that got murdered, but Krishna didn't help the guy that got murdered. Krishna just let the guy get murdered by these demons? Who's the demon? The guy that got murdered in the van? Or the guy that put 2 bullets in his head? And where was Krishna the whole time? These guys say, well, Krishna's using me to sell this book. So it's more important for Krishna to help you sell a book than it was than keep the guy in the van alive? Or to keep these little kids from being molested and raped and married and trafficked off to India? Where was Krishna then? Where was Krishna then? When these little kids are praying to Krishna for him to come and save them from these monsters that are abusing them daily. How come Krishna didn't answer their prayers? These people are friggin' sick. Krishna using me, Krishna this and that. Meanwhile, these kids friggin' tormented. Krishna, where was he? Krishna allowed the murders and rapes to happen, and he lets these predators go free. 400 children, over 400 children in the lawsuit. $400 million awarded. That's like $1 million per kid. They didn't get that. But nobody goes to jail? Nobody was guilty? Nobody's guilty of all that abuse? It's a mystery how all that happened? How 400 kids got molested? And the cult was found guilty of it, but we don't know who did it? Well, they don't know who did it, but how come they go free? How come they go free? How come these fuckers go free? All these one guy went to jail for this murder, but it wasn't one guy. It was a whole conspiracy. It was an interstate conspiracy. Gurus were involved. Temple presidents were involved. Just ordinary idiots were involved. Tracking him down. There was at least 2 or 3 guys just tracking him down. And the guy calling the shot, freaking guru calling the shots. None of those guys, only one guy out of all those people went to jail. You tell me this? They don't act like this ain't a mafia. This ain't a fucking criminal organization executing a hit on this guy from West Virginia, sending people from West Virginia out to L.A. to kill a guy in his van. I heard about me and his niece. I really hope she's able to get her out. Yeah, I hope so too. I mean, what can you do, man? This is a dangerous cult. This is no joke. People get in there thinking it's all love and peace, flowers and incense. It's like going in, oh, it's like India. They got great vegetarian food. Let's go to Govinda's. You don't know who's in that restaurant, cooking that food, working in that restaurant. All the predators that hang around there. Hare Krishna, it's a small thing. It's not like you go to the temple. It's not like going to. It's a big hundreds of people. No. Small. Everybody knows what everybody's doing. Everybody knows. And they don't tell you. You start hanging around. You start hanging around making friends. You meet this guy, meet that. I knew this guy. I knew him for years. He wasn't my friend, but I knew him. I saw him at the temple. I'd see him all the time. Guy was a child molester. I didn't know until I was ready to I was ready to get out of there. And I found out. I was like, Padma Garba? Molested that little girl? Really? And then once I found out, then I realized that like a bunch of people knew. It wasn't like a secret. It was a secret from me. It's like everybody that was there when it happened knew. They don't talk about it. Why are you gonna talk about it? You don't talk about it. The guy's still walking around in the neighborhood, still walking around the community, like nothing. That's why the guy could rape that girl, take her behind the stage, up to rape her, and get right back up on stage because he didn't give a fuck. They don't care. Padma Garba is walking around the neighborhood like they care. Who else is he molesting? How many other temples have people just, well, all of them, have people just, they're not talking. They don't say. I know your brother, your cousin, your brother, he doesn't know about Dave Amrita, that he was involved in this murder. That the FBI went down to West Virginia and rounded all these people up and interviewed them all for murder. Figure out what the hell's going on. He gonna sit up there in a temple with his Bhagavad Gita and sit there and do Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Act like he's in some spiritual trance. Sit there and do his Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Radha. It's all a bunch of bullshit. It's all a bunch of cosplay. They ain't doing nothing. I can sing those songs. I can do that shit. There ain't no spiritual ecstasy or transcendental. I could pretend like no. Get my little ching chingers out. Ching 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 ching. This is a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of bullshit.
These rogues, so-called acharyas, are the most dangerous elements in human society. These pseudo-religionists are heading toward the most obnoxious place in the universe.
Whoops. Sorry about that.
POP and original books. We have to know the history of abuse against Prabhupada and his followers.
What happened?
And then we have to know who is who. And
Religionists are heading toward the most obnoxious place in the universe, hell, after completion of their spiritual master business, which they conduct simply for sense gratification. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada wrote this in Sri Ishupanishad.
Hare Krishna respects all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Now I am trying to create unity and better communication. There's so much sectarianism in the movement.
So this guy, I know that guy. I knew him for years. This guy knows everything I know. He knows all about the murders. He knows all about the child molestations. He probably knows more than me. He knows more. He knows more of these characters. But he knows he knows all the dirty bullshit that I know. He knows all the same shit. But he's brainwashed into thinking, I don't know. He's brainwashed into the cult. So even though he knows all the same shit I know, he doesn't think there's anything wrong with it. He thinks he's still worshiping this guy. He's still got the crap on his face. Still wearing the shit. Still reading the books. He knows they murdered this guy. He knows that they're fake. These gurus are phony. He knows all that. But somehow he thinks it's real. That there's I don't I don't know. But he's still there. Look, he's still there. Bing. There I am. I'm going to read a book about how we kill each other and how the gurus are bogus and killing each other, but I'm all in.
Such as the one that Sulochana Prabhu experienced, and I'm making an effort so that never happens again, because it's not pleasing to Prabhupada that his disciples be killed, or that we have a reputation that
he says, he said that this devotee was killed, and it was bad because that doesn't make Prabhupada happy. What about the guy that got killed and his family? How about his life being cut short? How happy is he? And his wife and his kids and his parents and his siblings that lost their loved one to this fucking cult. And all he can think about is how it upsets Prabhupada. Prabhupada's dead. Prabhupada's been dead for 10 years. You see how this sick fucking cult? It was wrong to kill this guy because it made Prabhupada unhappy. Not that it was wrong to kill him. Not that the guy lost his life and that's fucked up for him and his family. No. Prabhupada. It made Prabhupada unhappy. And here this guy's talking about how he wants to unify he wants to unify with these people that killed this guy. Because the people that killed this guy in his van, they're still there. Every one of them. Except the one that's in jail and the one that died. But like I'm saying, it was a whole conspiracy. Dave Amrita was part of it. Radhanath was part of it. Rameshwar was part of it. A whole bunch of people were part of it. The guys that tracked him down. The guys that paid him off, gave him the money. The guys that bought his airline ticket. The guys that... all of that. This was a whole conspiracy to kill this guy. Not one of those guys went to jail. Not Dave Amrita, not Radhanath, not John Mastami, not Krishna Kata, not Rameshwar. None of those guys. They didn't go to jail. They didn't even go to trial. They didn't even get charged. They didn't get charged for anything. They're just as guilty. They're just as guilty as the guy who pulled the trigger. The guy who tracked him down is just as guilty as the guy who pulled the trigger. Come on. All those people that were celebrating in New Vrindavan when this guy got shot, they're all celebrating. Why would they be celebrating unless they knew what was going on, right? Otherwise, why? If they just got the word that this devotee, this guy, was killed, wouldn't they be going, "Oh my God, wow, what the fuck happened?" They knew him. He was from the community. He was just in Los Angeles. Shouldn't they have been like, "Oh my God, he got shot? What's going on? What happened? How did this happen? No. They started celebrating. That means that all these people knew and were happy that this guy got killed. How many people were involved in this, and how many people knew it was going to happen? It's like the whole place knew. I mean, the whole place is celebrating. The LA temple celebrating. New Vrindavan celebrating. Who knows? Who else is celebrating? They're just fucking disgust. It's worse than the Mafia. I don't know if the Mafia went out and like put a hit on a guy and then go throw a party afterwards and celebrate and do a whole dance and sing and say prayer. I don't think they would do something like that. Yeah, the real Mafia, they had some friggin' morals. Like, they don't kill children, they don't kill women, unless by accident, I guess. I don't know. They had some rules. The Hare Krishna got no rules. They killed the guy and then killed his kid. These people are fucking sick. And all this guy could think of is, well, it's upsetting to Prabhupada. It didn't make Prabhupada happy. Fuck Prabhupada. What about the guy that just got shot? The fuck?
Kill each other and so forth. So it's nowhere in our scriptures, nowhere giving us an example, honorable example of something to do. Today I am with the author of Killing for Krishna, Henry Tortorsky.
It's a real treat to be with you, Mahaprabhu.
It's friggin' ironic that they have a picture of Prabhupada. They put this book in front of this picture of Prabhupada. Like, look what you did. Look what you did. You caused this murder. You caused this one freaking Swami nut that you made a Swami, told him he was next to God, and then he goes and kills this other guy. And they put the book right in front of him. Like, look, like they're so proud. And they're gonna talk right in front of the guru there. They're so proud of their disgusting cult.
I enjoy your association. I find that you're a very loving soul, And I thank you for your friendship. Regarding the way I make my money is as a musician, mostly I play accordion, piano, organ. That's what I'm focusing on, mostly working for churches. I also teach chess for kids, and among other things, I look to research and to write, which my most recent effort is this book, Killing for Krishna, The Danger of Deranged Devotion.
What did you do at New Vrindavan for 15 years?
I had a mostly wonderful time. I mean, New Vrindavan it's a holy place of pilgrimage. Prabhupada founded it.
Okay. I can't take that because after everything that this guy wrote this book about, after everything this guy knows about Kirtanananda and the murders and Prabhupada and the gurus and the child molestation and all of this stuff, he still thinks that this place, that it's some kind of a spiritual... The brainwashing is friggin' incredible. I knew there was something wrong with this guy. How do you come to the conclusion that this place where these horrible murders took place, where these children were molested, these boys were raped and abused, this Kirtanananda was a friggin' nutcase. Murders happened there, abuse happened there, so much horrible stuff happened there, stuff we don't even know about. Just plotting a whole murder, taking this guy out and celebrating about it. And this guy knows all the details. He knows more about it than I do. He knows all the details. And he still thinks that this is some kind of a spiritual, is Prabhupada this and Prabhupada... What the fuck? The fuck is wrong with you? Prabhupada was a fucking disgusting old man. He was no spiritual anything. None of these people have anything to do with anything. It's a fucking disgusting pedophile cult of freaks. It's a carnival of fucking wacko freaks that molest children and kill each other. And you're gonna try and sit there and tell me that there's something spiritual going on there? What the fuck? How fucking brainwashed can you be?
And visited 4 times, and what I saw at New Vrindavan impressed me.
Like, so what? So you were there for 20 years like me. So what? Man up and say, you know what? I fucked up. I fucked up. I did. I fucked up. I spent 20 years in this fucking cult. I wasted 20 years of my life that I'll never get back. That I just blew. Just blew it. I admit it. I admit it. I fucked up. 20 years of my life just gone. 20 good years. 20 good fucking years. From 30 to 50. 30 to 50. Those are good. Those are some good years. You don't want to fuck up those years, okay? I did. I'll admit it. I'll admit it. I fucked up. I was following this Prabhupada, this fucking failure, this fool. This guy who couldn't do anything. He started a spiritual movement full of fucking degenerates and hippies, and all they did was molest all the kids. And start killing each other. It's a miracle that's still going on. I don't get it. I don't understand how a person like this can write a book about all of this crap and then sit there and talk about how it's spiritual. What's so fucking spiritual about it? What the fuck is so spiritual about New Vrindavan? Kirtanananda was there? So fucking what? Prabhupada was there? Who gives a fuck? Prabhupada was there. The fuck did he do? Except create this whole fucking mess. This disgusting piece of shit mess. The fuck did he do? The fuck's he done for anybody? What good has Prabhupada done for anybody? Show me something. What? What's he done for you? What's Prabhupada done for you? These people are fucking disgusting. This guy can't even... Fucking Mahatma can't even sit there and go, yeah, this fucking... They killed this guy, and it was wrong for them to kill this guy. No, it was wrong because it made Prabhupada unhappy. Just like when my wife passed away. And these fuckers sat there talking about how great it was that she got to see Prabhupada, read Prabhupada's books, see Prabhupada's picture. Like that was important. Like that's going to make me feel better. My wife just died of cancer. And you're sitting, all you can sit there and we're supposed to be having like a memorial for her. And all they can do is sit there and talk about Prabhupada. Oh, Prabhupada did this and Prabhupada did that. When she got to see Prabhupada's feet, she got to see Prabhupada. I'm sitting there going, what the fuck? Are you guys like, is that all you can? Well, it is. It's a cult. It's all they can think about. They can't think about anything else. So naturally, they murdered this guy, and that made Prabhupada unhappy. Not that the guy's dead. 28 years old and he's dead or whatever. His mom and dad are suffering. His sister. He didn't care about that. Oh, just Prabhupada's unhappy. That made Prabhupada mad. That made Prabhupada unhappy. And this guy's going to sit there and talk about how great New Vrindavan is? Why? Because you live there? You lived there for 14 years? And, like, what's so special about this fucking plot of land in West Virginia? What makes it so spiritual? You gotta be fucking brainwashed, man. It's a fucking crime scene is what it is. And two bodies buried there that we know of. How many other bodies are buried there? How many people were killed in New Vrindavan? Salochan's kid. Two other people that were buried, Chakradari or whatever his name was, buried under the river. And another devotee, I don't know that devotee's name. And probably more. I mean, it's a friggin' cemetery. It's a friggin' crime scene cemetery. And he's talking about how the spiritual energy is wrong. What the fuck is wrong with these people? This is the cult. This is a cult. This guy wrote a book about how they murdered and abused and all this stuff, and he's sitting there talking about how it's a great spiritual place. The fuck is wrong with you? And let me show you this. This is This is gonna piss me off, but everything pisses me off. So what difference does it make, right? I'm gonna get pissed off anyway.
Yeah, yes, we
Okay.
can.
I'd like to make some comment to what Yasunana just said.
Please.
It's a story about, I think it was Prajumna's wife.
Oh,
What was her name? Anasuya? I can't quite remember her name. She had 2 sons in the Gurukul in Vrindavan. Something happened. They were beaten or mistreated in some way. She was very upset. So she took it.
Okay. So here we go. Let me just stop right there. So this woman had 2 boys in the Gurukula in Vrindavan, and something happened to these boys, and she was very upset. What do you think happened? He said they were being mistreated in some way. They were being abused or mistreated in some way. Well, yeah, she was upset. But really, what really happened to these boys in the Gurukula? What really happened that upset her so much? Were they disciplined too much? I think we know what happened to these 2 boys. I think we know what happened. They were abused. He wants to play it off like it was no big deal. Her 2 boys were abused, and she was pissed off. As a mother would be. He wants to play it off like, she had 2 boys in the Gurukula, and something happened, she got mad. You see how this is? It's all men, right, talking. You got 5 guys, right? 6. They had a woman, she had 2 boys in school, and something happened, the boy was abused or something, and she got upset. You know, just blowing it off like,
Train to Bombay to see Prabhupada. When she arrived at Bombay, Prabhupada was on the roof of his apartment, which he often did, and he was having a big meeting with all the...
Okay. She's got 2 boys in the Gurukula in Vrindavan, and something happens to her boys. She gets on a train and goes to Bombay. Okay, now that's like a day trip. That's like an overnight trip. That's like a whole trip on the train in India in 1970. I don't know, 5, 6. So right here we have a devotee. There was abuse going on while Prabhupada was present, while he was here. He knew about abuse. This is not the only report of abuse that got to him. He knew about a lot of abuse.
Sannyasis and GBCs. So this Mataji climbed up the stairs, and when Prabhupada saw her, he immediately could see she was very upset. He told all the big leaders and GBCs and sannyasis to leave and said, "What's wrong, Anasuya?" And she said, "Oh, my sons were da-da-da-da-da-da-da." And Prabhupada was very, very...
My sons were da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. He doesn't want to say. He doesn't want to say what da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da is. But I think we pretty much know what da-da-da-da-da-da-da is. But he's gonna just say it like it's no big deal. Like so what? Da 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 da. She found out her kids were da 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 da. She fucking got on a train and took a train to Bombay to talk to Prabhupada himself because of da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Concerned about the way the children were being treated. That's just a very short story that shows what Prabhupada's attitude was really towards the children.
Oh, so that little anecdote is supposed to show what Prabhupada's real attitude was towards children and being abused. And she took a train from Vrindavan to Bombay and confronted Prabhupada about her children being da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And Prabhupada said, okay, all you guys go. Let me talk to this woman one-on-one. And so, what does that show? Her kids were da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and he said, everybody leave, I want to talk to her. So what happened?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. Nothing happened. That's my story.
I think that the most important thing is that we keep going with the positive. What I'm saying.
Yeah, just keep going with the positive. These people are full of shit. These are the people that I was working with, the good guys. We were supposed to be the good guys, the good Hare Krishnas, the ones that didn't go for that bad guru crap. And that's how these guys thinking. Da 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 da. No big deal. Women are less intelligent anyway, so the mom probably, screw her. Probably didn't give a shit about women or kids. Because he's not gonna sit there and say that, although he did. But what did he do? What did he do? Did he say let's go back to Vrindavan and get rid of these people that are, or da 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 your kid? No, he didn't do that. Big deal. He told the people to leave so he could have a private conversation with the mom whose little kid got da 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 da. Wait, what did you want? What do you want? Where's the what is the point of your story? There's like no story. All right, I'm gonna finish up here with I'm gonna finish up with this guy. This guy is really good. This guy, he knows what he's talking about. So let's watch a little bit of this. Let me get this going here.
My name is Henry Jolicoeur. I'm a French-Canadian psychotherapist, hypnotherapist, and my special field of interest and study is brainwashing and mind control by cults. Today I would like to give a review of a book called Killing for Krishna by Henry Dostoevsky. This is a book about brainwashing and mind control of an entire community called New Vrindavan, that at one time was the largest Hare Krishna community in North America with more than 500 members. Henry was a member of this community for many years, and by his own admission, he was himself brainwashed by the spiritual teacher of that community, Keith Gordon Am, whose spiritual name was Kirtan Ananda Swami. It is important to understand that the Hare Krishna movement was founded in 1966 by Swami Bhaktivedanta, who was the spiritual master of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness until his passing away in 1977. At the time, his word was taken to be the absolute truth. There was no room for discussions, there was no room for doubts. When Swami Bhaktivedanta said this was like this, the devotees around the world had to take his word as the absolute truth. In 1976, Swami Bhaktivedanta said that Kirtan Ananda was a pure devotee of Krishna, which is the highest state of realization for a devotee of Krishna, equal in other tradition to enlightenment. He said repeatedly that he was pleased when devotees were serving Kirtan Ananda. It was basically as good as serving him, and naturally it was as good as serving Krishna. So the 3,500 devotees that he had around 1976 took his word to be the absolute truth, for his vision was the correct vision. It was the vision that all the devotees of Krishna around the world had to follow, because he knew better than anybody else. He was the spiritual master. Unfortunately, Swami Kirtanananda was a pedophile, a megalomaniac, a psychopath, an homosexual, a drug addict that was doing all his activities in secret and pretending to be a holy man. So this community became extremely corrupt to the point where Swami Kirtanananda was ordering this one and that one to be murdered. This book explains in detail those activities. In this video, I will not go page by page about what happened in New Vrindavan. I will recommend that you buy the book and find out for yourself, especially devotees of Krishna now in various temples around the world. Philosophers have said that if you do not learn by the mistake of the past, you are bound to repeat them. And these mistakes are actually being repeated in various Hare Krishna temples and societies around the world, mostly the worship of gurus that have no spiritual potency, no spiritual realization, but pretend that they are enlightened, pretend that they are pure devotees of Krishna to get all kinds of benefit, as many of them are now multimillionaire. I will make several videos to expose some of the people that took part directly or indirectly in the murders of New Vrindavan. But it is very important to first understand that none of these murders, none of the theft of hundreds of millions of dollars from the streets of America under false pretense by the devotees of Swami Kirtanananda would have happened if Swami Bhaktivedanta would not have given his blessing by saying Swami Kirtanananda was a pure devotee of Krishna. I first met Swami Kirtanananda in 1971 in Calcutta, India. There was just 10 devotees of Krishna in a house in a poor neighborhood of Calcutta, and Swami Bhaktivedanta was present at the time. Swami Kirtanananda started a program where he would bring dozens of poor boys to this house. He would get them naked, offer a shower to those kids while gawking at them, and then he would give them some food and send them away. After a few weeks of this program, the leader at the time of the temple in Calcutta, whose name was Tamal Krishna, consulted with Swami Bhaktivedanta, and they became afraid that the neighborhood parents would think that there were pedophiles in that house. So Swami Bhaktivedanta ordered the activities of giving showers to those boys to be stopped. But he did not punish Swami Kirtanananda nor sent him away. If he would have been a little more practical, if he had a little more vision about who this guy was all about, he would just have said, "Go away, I never want to see you again." But this was not the case. Swami Bhaktivedanta just kept working.
So as you can see, Prabhupada knew that Kirtanananda was this character. He knew. He knew long before 1971. He knew long before that. But here's Kirtanananda watching these little boys showering, and Prabhupada is just like, okay, whatever, don't do that. But it's just more evidence that Prabhupada knew. He knew about the abuse, he knew about Kirtanananda, and he still made him a Swami, and still went to New Vrindavan, and told people that Kirtanananda was a pure devotee of God. I mean, I don't know what was going on in Prabhupada's head. But Prabhupada was obviously had a problem with that. Prabhupada had a problem with judging people's character. He's like, oh, if you're chanting Hare Krishna, then you're a good character. No, Kirtanananda was not. Prabhupada thought, well, if you chant, then all of these bad things will go away. Well, no, they didn't. I don't know what Prabhupada was thinking. He was thinking that he could somehow magically turn Kirtanananda into a pure devotee? That somehow Prabhupada was so powerful, or the holy name, Krishna was so powerful, Lord Chaitanya is so powerful, that he could take this degenerate Kirtanananda, that Prabhupada knew was a degenerate, for a long time. Prabhupada was just so sure that this chanting and his touch, his blessing, was just going to change Kirtananda. Absolutely. It was without a doubt. No. Of course not. Because it's all fake and phony and a bunch of BS. So Prabhupada just let Kirtananda do whatever he wanted. He let him build New Vrindavan. Prabhupada was... There was a time when Kirtananda was not in ISKCON because Prabhupada had kicked him out. And then he let him back in. And the only reason he kicked him out was because he thought Kirtananda wanted to take over the movement and push Prabhupada to the side. Not because Kirtananda was pedophile, homosexual pedophile, doing all these things and whatever. Prabhupada didn't care about that. Prabhupada only cared that Kirtananda was going to take over the movement. And then he let him back in. Prabhupada went to New Vrindavan. Gave him blessings. Oh, this is very nice. I like this. And then said Kirtananda, pure devotee. Prabhupada created this whole thing. He was a failure at everything. He couldn't even make a friggin' Swami. He had pieces of shit disciples, and he created pieces of shit gurus. That's what he attracted. You think he attracted like first class, college educated, whatever? We're gonna join this friggin' cult? No, he got these degenerate whatever pieces of shit off the street. It came, had nowhere to go, sleep in his temple. Eventually, they got brainwashed into his fucking cult. That's who Prabhupada had. Prabhupada was a piece of shit himself. Prabhupada was a racist, sexist piece of shit. Surrounded himself with other racist, sexist pieces of shit. You read those conversations. Go to this Veda base. Where is it? Let me show you where it is. I want you all to go ahead and learn how to do this on your own if you want to. Where is it? I can't even find it. It's gone. I don't know where it is, but let me find it because I want to. You go here and you can search Prabhupada's books. And you can find where he says, ordinarily women is taken as less intelligent class men, women, women, but you can just go and you can search and you can see for yourself all this stuff, and you can see how his disciples go right along with all his racist, sexist bullshit. They're right there with him. He says something sexist about women having small brain, and they're like, yep, women got a small brain. They're like, just like the guy said, if Prabhupada said that women have a small brain, then women have a small brain. If Prabhupada says women like to be raped, women like to be raped. And here you got one right here. It says morning walk. The guy's already agreeing with Prabhupada. Morning walk. Yashoda Matinanda, because they are less intelligent. He's already agreeing with Prabhupada that they're less intelligent. Women are less intelligent. Women are less intelligent. And so these people, he's probably surrounded. I mean, I have to admit, it's just it's a brainwashing, and you associate with these people, you hang around with them, you read these books over and over. It becomes part of the culture. The women accept it. They go, yeah, I'm a dumb woman. I'm less intelligent. And the men are always, these women are stupid, and women are less intelligent. And I had a problem with it because I could not accept that my mother and my daughter, because they were female, that they were just automatically less intelligent or stupid. And so I had a hard time with that. But I wasn't going to let that stop me from being a Hare Krishna. So I have to confess, I have to admit, I was in the cult. So yeah, you do mental gymnastics to try to explain things away, or not believe things, or put it in the back of your head, or up, whatever you have to do. And eventually it all comes crashing down, and that's what happens. But everybody out there, you can go and you can search these books and lectures and talks and morning walks and conversations and all of these things, and you can see all this wacky, crazy. It's wacky. This is dangerous, but it's crazy and it's insane, but it's also dangerous and harmful, and that's the main thing, is that all this causes domestic violence. It causes child marriage, child sexual abuse. It causes family disconnection, shaming, so many things, so many horrible things. Nothing good from this cult at all. Nothing good. Anything good in this cult, you can get somewhere else. Vegetarianism, you can get that somewhere else. If you like the stories and the mythology or the whatever, you can get that. You can get that without the cult. If you like the Bhagavad Gita, you can read a Bhagavad Gita that's not from the cult, and you can enjoy that. All of that, all of it, you can enjoy it without being part of a child predator, child abusing, human trafficking, disgusting, racist, sexist, anything else you can think of that's throw in there. I mean, it really is. It just covers every horrible thing you can get, like racism, sexism, misogyny, and child abuse, and murder, and extortion, and I mean, to take your pick, What? But anyway, it is a horrible, disgusting cult, and I want to thank everybody for watching today. Please like, share, and subscribe. Get the views out there. Get the videos out there so people don't end up joining this thing, not knowing what they're getting into. people, they go into a Govinda's restaurant, and then they end up going to the temple, and then they go to the festival, and then the next thing you know, they're going, after work, and they're reading the books, and then they're in, and that's how it happens. And next thing you know, you're milking a cow in India somewhere. You're in some yoga kirtan program thing, and you got a guru, and I mean, that's what happens. So be careful. Get these videos out there so that doesn't happen to innocent people who don't know what's going on, and they fall into these Hare Krishna cults, yoga cults, and whatnot. So thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day, great night, great morning, great afternoon. Have some great luck. And I even got a closing credit here. Let me see. Where is it? Closing credits. Here we go.